Okay, and we're back. Hello, and welcome to the stream. We are going to do one more contest course in this sitting, and I think it's going to be Mr. Trailduckers. We're going to do Stono Beach Club. I should get a glass of water. Actually, it's okay. It's not the most professional streaming thing, but I'll be right back. We're just going to get a quick one. There we go, and we're back. Sorry about that. All right. Well, so a lot of things going on here. Again, I like a lot of the visual, again, the visual setup around here is great, and I can't see any of it from the tee. I don't mind this as an opening hole. The hole is fine. I'm going to complain slightly about the presentation of it in terms of, it's a very flat, empty, open thing that dominates your view. There's so much good things going on, and you can't see any of them from the first tee. Now, that's a personal nitpick, where I just feel like, hey, it's the first tee. It's really, your chance to grab the player, and it's, it's the worst... you're showing the player right off the start the worst part of the visuals for the first hole. Now, again, very nitpicky, but I love the first hole. I just think the presentation could be tweaked a little bit. There's a lot of good things going on here. Just show them off a little bit. I don't know. I feel like, again, I love the way that this hole's framed, and it's the same thing. It's a completely wide open, empty area. I'd probably maybe fill in maybe some more scrub planting and stuff in your big open sandy area. Just something that was a little less uniform. Because it's you're not going to need all of that bunker. It's just so big and so flat and so uh, uh, one dimensional is not the word I'm looking for, but it's uniform. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a big empty thing that dominates your view. Oh, we've got some tiered retaining walls, a little funky. We're doing some Columbia wetlands things, but better. Yeah, I can see kind of the Kiowa vibes to it. Again, I don't think it's it does a decent job of channeling those Kiowa things, but again, I don't know. I'm always going to be somebody that will notice visual things immediately, and again, be more focused on it than most. And it's just there's just little things I'd want to touch up with this visually. You're oh, it's so close. You just need to fix this thing. Yeah, Kiowa is definitely tough to pull off. Again, I think he channels the vibe pretty good. You have a lot of rugged stuff everywhere else. So I think you could pull in some of that rugged, sandy, grassy planting stuff a little bit in some of those areas. Yeah, same comment for this one. There's also like your layup area is huge, which it is not in and of itself a bad thing, but it's just there's your view is dominated by a ton of stuff that absolutely does not matter, because it's like your shots are here with a 3 wood or here with driver, and I think it's just always driver. I don't think there's any reason not to hit at it at this one. So it's like the actual part of this hole that matters is like is from here to here, and that's it. And there's so much openness. Oh, I just blew it past. Whoops. Let's see. Like the golf has been fine so far. Again, maybe a little on the easy side. The playing corridors on this course are massive, which again I don't dislike. And again, if you're doing like, I always got to reference other playthroughs now. Like with Eastman's course, like if you're getting really humpy bumpy with your course, it's like you want kind of like a more wide open corridor like this, and then let like just weird bounces and like raised greens and stuff like that, like slopes that help and hurt you, like all that sort of stuff be the challenge versus. Did I do the Eastman Eastwood thing again? I'm sorry. I'm trying to do two things at once and just talking a little bit of stream of consciousness. So again, I'm just my brain's just gonna fill stuff in sometimes, and I'm gonna use the wrong words because that's I'm bad at language. But thank you. Um. Okay, Eastman just flows off the tongue, even though Eastwood is who I should just say Alan because then I'll get it right. But anyways, like, and then of course on the flip side, this one isn't like it's got wide corridors and it's kind of flat, so it feels a little, what do you want to call it? Like the tee shots are a little on the easy side. I'm gonna be overly nitpicky about presentation because I just feel like um, it keeps jumping out to me. I keep looking at stuff and be like, "You're so close," and it's not there, and it's the one thing that like I'm gonna struggle to critique the like the golf in terms of like your Dans and your Bens and your Scottishes, like I can say like, I like what you did there, I didn't like what you did there, like I can have a personal opinion on it, but I'm gonna have less of like a technical opinion on it. Whereas like you want to talk about like presentation and layout and framing and stuff, like, oh boy, I can have some I have the expertise to have strong opinions. I agree. It's very open. Again, not in like, which isn't in and of itself a problem. It's just it's less that it's open, and it's more that it's empty, or like there's there's too many large uniform areas that aren't broken up visually, and that that's what really kind of can mess with your presentation. It's the thing is you can have open areas. You just don't want uniform areas that, like, this is a great kind of counterexample of there's almost nothing in this shot here. But because you used the natural texture and it's very splotchy and broken up, there's nothing here and yet it's framed great. Like, I think, again, like if I'm doing framing things, I'd bump this down a little bit so that you get a little bit of this like this little S turn here by the what do you want to call it? This guy. You'd see this turn a little bit more, and that would kind of dominate your view a little bit. But the framing is great because it's you know, like again, this is what I think some of the other stuff was missing. Like the framing on this hole is great. It's just as wide and open and empty as everything on the plot, but it looks spectacular. That being said, I think you could still fill in like maybe a couple bushes. Like you could definitely jazz it up a little bit more than what you did, but this checks a lot of boxes for me in ways that like I feel like you're. Oh my god. That's the worst swing of all time. But yeah, this hole checks a lot of boxes for me visually in ways that the course hasn't quite yet. Exactly, Pat. We're gonna take a close look at that planting. What? The worst tempo that you can possibly have. Why can't I swing all of a sudden? This game's not that hard. I mean, I already can't speak now. Like my motor controls are just completely dying on me. I'm definitely not having a stroke or something. I'm sorry. This is an incredibly wide hole. I don't know what that little. I guess that's it's to guard that angle, but again, this hole feels like it's trying to do a whole lot. Actually, and then you kind of can't. I don't know. I'm gonna need a second look at this one eventually. There's a lot of things happening in this one, and I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet. It's just kind of an odd hole, and it's so wide that it just kind of ends up being like I just hit 3 shots and then maybe I putt for birdie. In my case, I will not putt for birdie. Alright. Again, this one, I like the way this one's framed, and then I'm just, like, I'm not entirely sure on this apron. It's got the critiques I had of Eastwood's course, where it's like, hey, it's positioned in a way that it feels like you'd want to use it, but it's bumpy in a way that means that you really can't hit shots there and depend on them. So you just are going to avoid it. Damn it, Pat, stop it. I'm 95% sure I said Eastwood. And now you're just making me doubt myself. This is why I can't function as a human being. Because I'm not sure what I said in the sentence I said previously. I'm pretty sure I said it correctly. And now you have me doubting myself. I can't do this, you guys. You're breaking me. Help a guy out, would you? This is hard enough as it is. I am having fun. I apologize to Alan for however many unknown amount of times I've butchered his name. I just can't help. I don't know why. Yeah, again, same thing. Just huge corridor, a lot of just very uniform things I'm looking at off the tee. I think this is another one that's like probably like a kinetic level course. I don't dislike this course. Again, there's one or two holes that lose me a little bit, but like I enjoy the course. It's just, I don't have like a lot of, hey, there we go. All of my comments are going to be visual because that's what jumps out at me. That's yes, I'm suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning, I guess. But yes, I like the course so far. But yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, this probably isn't hard enough, and uh, like a couple holes lost me. Like, I don't dislike this one, but it is a little funky. And then it's just and then I like the visual stuff, which I can nitpick like like crazy. And I will say, what's the point of these bunkers? What are these doing? They're very prominently featured, and as far as I can tell, they never make sense. Like, even if I missed all the way right, they're still never on my line. Like, if I somehow chose the conservative line and then dumped it all the way even right of that. No, no, and it's like I guess it's just more of the you have a shorter shot if you challenge that spot on the left. But there's a little bit of kind of like there's a huge swath of angles that you can utilize on this hole. And none of them really matter. I guess it bumps you from having like a 9-iron into a pitching wedge or a sand wedge in. That's kind of the difference. Yeah, kind of same thing on this one. This one's a very empty hole. Let's just get nowhere close to that pin. Alright, okay. I see how it is. Is that enough club? Yeah, we'll take a little extra. I might do a little bit more streaming after this. I think based on my ability or my inability to stay focused and not just start giggling nonstop, I think 4 is more than enough contest playthroughs for today, so I might do something else, but I'm not sure what yet. We'll see. I think I got maybe like another hour or so that I could get away with burning. Okay, I like this spot. Yeah, I feel like you could fill in the like a little bit of like scrub bushes and stuff would do great. Like just break up. Like, I like this spot, but it's like you could still the waste areas are much better than like the big just flat empty bunkers, but I think you could still kind of fill that area in a little bit visually or break it up with, just with some little splashes of bushes and stuff. Well, that's a good shot. Take that, golf hole. Kick in eagle. Let's go. All right now. I'm gonna have. I feel like I've played 4 courses and I've had so little to say about the actual golf on all of them. So they've all just been like, yeah, they're fine. There's no major issues with the golf. It's just the question of are they difficult enough? Got a little window between all the stands and stuff. Is this 18? Yes, we are on 18. Again, I don't like. I can appreciate the work that went into the double layer retaining walls. Like they're well done. I don't know if I like them or not, but they're there. They're fine. Maybe a little nondescript kind of closing hole. Kind of a driver 8-iron without a whole lot of hazards. No, of course. Am I downwind on this one? That could be part of it. No, I was kind of into the wind, so yeah. Maybe a little non. My God, my putting's bad. Yeah, probably not. At least not on their own. But they're not going to lose you a contest either. But anyways, thank you everyone for tagging along. I think we're done with the playthroughs for today. I think that's enough. But I'll keep streaming for those who are in chat and want to hang out for a bit longer. Thanks again for following along. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, have a good one.